Good evening, everybody. Hello, everyone out there watching on Periscope, on DLive, on BigWave.tv, and on YouTube. Welcome to episode 21 of The Abyss. I'm your host, The Eternal Abyss. We are legal. We can drink legally now because we hit 21, right? So, I'm going to apologize in advance. I don't have a lot of visuals set up. Usually, I try to get some visuals, some images, just so when we transition and we're talking from news item to news item or what have you, um, essentially, I have something for you guys to kind of look at or listen to or what have you. I've been running absolutely late all day, and I just got myself together here for the stream, and I couldn't find a cable that I was looking for. Hello, Meave. Hello, Mom Patch. How you guys doing? If you want to participate in the chat, I do look over the Periscope chat and the D Live. So either three chats, bitwave.tv, dlive.tv, or Periscope. I will try and interact and talk as much as I can. Depending if I'm rambling on and on about a topic, obviously, I may end up not looking too much at this. This isn't a bored idle stream. Hold on. I was doing some testing and doing some off streams that weren't official streams here. Let me adjust my text up there. I have a follower goal. I would love to reach, hundreds and thousands of followers, but I'm being realistic in my goals. So I want to try and get at least 100 YouTube followers so I can have my custom URL, because without that, YouTube will not give you a custom URL. And I'd like to get 200 followers on DLive. We're not too far from that one on DLive. And with that, you can be partnered on DLive. So I can bow even further to the lemon emperor, and because I want my lemons. And if you care to donate a non-lemon currency, you can go to streamlabs.com/theeternalabyss. You'll be able to donate there and support a small creator like myself who is being constantly harassed and silenced and by big tech, and also just being generally harassed by people, which if anyone pays attention to my Twitter, I've been going through this big conversation with this one uber lefty liberal individual. And it's really funny to me when these guys just attack, because they all have the same pattern. That's the thing. They all have the same pattern of behavior. They have the same methodology of what they try to do. They think repetition means that their argument has validity. The more they repeat something, the more valid it is to them. So they keep posting the same link or the same argument. Or they just attack you directly. They go directly to an ad hominem attack. And one of these days, I'm going to talk a lot about debating, I think, because I think it's important. I think it's very important for people to know who to engage, how to engage, and when to engage. Because it is a question that I've heard other people ask other conservative speakers and creators. They ask, like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro or other people like that. They ask them, how can I debate this point with someone, or like, when should I argue it or debate a point with someone? And there's a lot of things to talk about when you're talking about debating. It's not a black and white kind of, well, this and that and that's it. No, there's actually a whole art to debating. And I've been essentially in it ever since I was cogent enough to form arguments and to understand. And I just noticed that my logo is going over the text. 1 second, let me adjust that, because my OCD is going to make me really drive me crazy about that. So hold on. No, that can stay. Text goes all the way to the top. There we go. Because the text has to be the overlay that stays on top of everything. Anywho, as I was saying, there's an art to debate, and I think one day I may do a stream. It's been suggested in Bitwave that I do a nightly stream. I've been considering that because Spooks wants to do a stream in the morning, and Cocaine Mitch wants to do a midday stream because he can do that while he has he's dealing with the Bitwave baby. And then, I can take on the night shift. Why not? I like that idea. I don't know if I'd be able to stream every night. My schedule is very crazy and erratic, so maybe I could do a very late night stream. I don't know. We would have to see. We'd have to see how I can work that out because there are times where I would like to do just like a one topic stream, or talk just about the news of the day instead of trying to collect everything that's happened in the past week. And I've talked about this before on my other streams for those that have watched my streams in the past. You probably recognize some of the stuff that I've mentioned already. But the main point of this show is obviously to kind of talk about the news of the day. I've kind of veered off already in the intro a little bit farther enough. So one of the biggest things that happened is obviously the elections that happened yesterday. We had these general elections in certain areas of the United States, like in New York, and there were some district votes in Kentucky, Virginia, etc. And of course, both sides of the aisle, they're going to put their own injections into it. Of course, the left are going to say, "Oh, it's a blue wave, blue wave." I don't really view it as much as a blue wave. I've actually seen a lot of seats that were not a whole lot. I mean, overall, this is actually an interesting observational thing. Like if you just kind of look at the data for what it is, and you look at the results for what they were, there's a lot of mitigating factors here that you can look at that cause one thing or another. Hey, thanks for the follow. MZ, thank you on DLive. I appreciate that. Also, I'm not hearing anything. Hold up. I just dropped something. Hold on here. For some reason, I'm not. I should be hearing. I should be hearing when stuff happens. Why am I not hearing when stuff happens? Something's not right. That should fix it, I think. We'll see. Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, yes, about the election. So there's a lot of mitigating factors that have kind of explains what's going on. For certain things that some people may inject more of a political point of view in. For example, a lot of people in Kentucky say blue wave, blue wave. Actually, not so much. What happened in Kentucky, for example, you have I believe his name was Bevin, was the incumbent Republican governor. And he was an incredibly unpopular governor. And some people have said, oh, the reason why he lost because he was the closest to Trump in how he behaved, how he acted, how he talked. He was a very brash individual. And that may be true. I mean, that's actually Ben Shapiro's argument. I listened a little bit to Ben Shapiro today to just kind of see what he was talking about. And exactly, Troll 4850. Essentially, that's the crux of what happened here. The blue areas went blue, the red areas went red, and there's really not a whole lot of surprises. But there is some interesting data to look at that because in Virginia is essentially a very blue state already. And it went just a little more blue. And a lot of the arguments are like it's because the GOP hasn't really done much to go into the suburbs, in suburbia to try and gather support. And there may be some truth to that. And the thing is, nobody asked Trump to go to Virginia to try and stump for any of the GOP candidates. And the interesting thing about that is that he did go to Kentucky, and Bevin, even though Bevin right now he hasn't, to my knowledge, he hasn't conceded yet as at the time of this stream. I don't know if it's changed. I haven't looked at it, but he was down 20 points. Trump came in, and he got basically to 0.3% difference between him and the Democrat candidate. So that tells you a lot. So Ben Shapiro may say, for example, oh, it's because Trump, if he's running on like the Trump character and not policy, the character will make him lose, and that Trump is going to lose if he runs on his character and not policy. I don't agree with Ben Shapiro on that one. I think Ben Shapiro is full of crap on that, frankly. I'm not scared to say that about Ben Shapiro. The problem with that argument is that it completely ignores what happened there, where Trump did show up and he did bring out support for this candidate who was incredibly unpopular, and that he lost by a very, very small fraction. And it looks like there's even some already accusations of electoral fraud, voter fraud that happened in Kentucky. So I wouldn't be surprised if some recounts happen there. It probably will happen. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if the governor that declared victory, I don't remember even his name, the Democrat guy. I told you I'm very poorly prepared for this stream, I'm afraid. Apologies in advance. I don't remember the guy's name, but Bevin is just like really, he's a hair away from a victory on that one, and he hasn't declared, he hasn't conceded, and I think he will fight it because Kentucky laws do have a lot of these different options for someone who doesn't want to concede it. They want to challenge the results. So it's not automatic, to my knowledge. He has to go and request it, and he probably will. So that's interesting. But the other thing about Kentucky that's interesting is that everything else went red. It stayed red. Didn't go red. It stayed red. You got also a historic thing where you got the first black AG in Kentucky. So that's all something that happened. And so it's more of a reflection of the current status quo. Not a whole lot of things changed. And I saw in the chat earlier, they said that Virginia is famous, the GOP in Virginia is famous for being incompetent. And yeah, that's probably why Virginia is such a mess when it comes to like the gerrymandering that the Democrats have done. It's such a mess when they're going out and just getting people to vote. And they didn't even ask Trump to go out there, because I can guarantee you, if Trump went out to Kentucky and helped a guy go up nearly 20 points, I'm pretty damn sure that if he went down to Virginia, whoever the GOP candidates were, would have been able to get it. Would have been able to get at least far more support. So Virginia GOP, that is a complete failure on your part. Another thing that I noticed about the Virginia race was that there's this one picture of this chick who flips off the motorcade of Trump, and she lost her job over it, and apparently she got elected into some position. So Virginia is essentially the new California and the new, I think Nevada. It's like a mess. It's an absolute mess. But Virginia has been blue. That's nothing new. And actually, overall, there are still more Republicans holding seats than Democrats. I believe there are still more governors that are Republican than Democrat. So really, even if a couple seats got flipped, there really isn't a blue wave. So this whole argument on the left that a blue wave happened and this is indicative and people want to read the tea leaves for 2020, no, I don't think so. All the polls are pretty much predicting that Trump will win. And so far, there's not all, but there are plenty of polls. Yep, there is no blue wave. There are plenty of polls that say that Trump is predicted to win. They've asked people's opinions, and many people believe that Trump will get reelected. So it's not surprising. The results that happened, they are disappointing, don't get me wrong, but they're not surprising. But there are silver linings. There are silver linings even in disappointment. Like, let's take the fact that Ralph Northam did get reelected. So, guess what, people? Bust out the shoe polish or your Klan hood. Because, hey, if you can wear blackface like Trudeau and like Ralph Northam, if he was the one in the blackface, or wear a hood in the picture in your yearbook and still not lose your position and get reelected, guess what? In my opinion, blackface is perfectly okay now. So is wearing the Klan hood. I mean, who cares? Now, if I can walk around in blackface, and if someone wants to tell me, oh, that's racist, that's terrible, you shouldn't do that, I'm going to say, Northam, Ralph Northam, go talk to that guy first. So, and there are also other interesting results. Thank you, Troll4850. Tucson voted against sanctuary city status. Seattle voted against affirmative action. Yeah, there's definitely internally you're seeing a lot of these shifts. Kentucky also, I believe the city council. The city council had changed a street name, a famous street name, to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard or what have you, and they voted to eliminate that. So they didn't want the Martin Luther King Jr. street name. So you're seeing internally there's this shift, as you know, the Troll 4850 points out. And yes, Bevan, thank you, Soldat. Hi, Soldat, by the way. Bevan is very unpopular. That is absolutely true. And that's what I'm saying. The fact that Trump came in there and got him so close to winning, provided that there's no voter fraud or other things like that, he got him so close just for showing up. That's amazing to me. That shows that Trump still has a lot of clout and a lot of people support him. And I don't agree with Ben Shapiro saying that, you know, people don't like his character and he's going to lose if he runs on his character. That's why he won. People voted for him because he wasn't the politician. He wasn't the polished politician. He wasn't the one that every single syllable and comma and period are polished, filtered through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people before he even opens his freaking mouth. So I don't agree with that sort of assessment. Ben Shapiro has a huge bias against Donald Trump. He will not admit it because he's saying, you know, the whole facts don't care about your feelings thing. I will call out Ben Shapiro right here, right now, saying, dude, you have such a bias against Trump that you can't even see the facts for what they are. However, I will give credit to Ben Shapiro for stating that observation about, you know, how actually it wasn't as bad as some people think it was for the Republicans. He said it was kind of bad for them, and it was pretty good for the Democrats in other areas. But there's a lot of these layers. It's very onioned, in my opinion. You know, like an onion. It's very layered. This whole election that happened. Exactly, Mom Patch. Yep, people voted for him because he's a straight shooter and says it like it is. I agree. I absolutely agree, and I think that if Trump changes his rhetoric, becomes a soft politician guy, you know, through and through, he's gonna lose support because people like the fact that he riles up the left. People like the fact that he riles up the media. People like that about him. I like that about him. That was one of the reasons why I ended up, supporting him. At first, I'll be the first to admit, when Trump decided to run back in 2016 there, I had my doubts. I was like, Trump for president? I don't know. You're fired. Guy from New York, you know, he's like I don't know, like, is he really the right guy for the job? And it's interesting. It's very interesting to see, like, when I saw him in the debate, saw him talking, saw the policies that he was putting forward, saw how people attacked him, how he drove the left crazy. All of that combined made me want to support him more and more, and and I ended up making my decision that I did support him. All right, Big Fathead. Yeah, he says, Big Fathead says, there are 2 more Trump voters in my household. You can thank the Dems saying they'll take guns and give illegals health care. Yeah, I mean, the stances of the left and the Democrats are absolutely crazy. Soldat says, I know Shapiro / French wing think Trump is depressing voter turnout, but we've lost every election when Trump isn't on the ballot, and when he's on the ballot, they sweep. Or spot on, Soldat. That is absolutely true. When Trump gets involved, everybody's numbers goes up, and the right wins. Absolutely true. Yep, you got to thank Beto. Thank Beto for that. Speaking of Beta, Beta is begone. He's out. He bowed out of the race. So, hey, Beto, there's something I wanted to tell you. Hell no, you won't be taking the AR-15s. Hell no, you won't be confiscating the guns. Joy Behar, Big Fathead, I'm looking at the chat here. No, what did Oh, Mom Patch, you're amazing. Yeah, I won't read it out loud because I am streaming on YouTube and I'm trying to stay within their terms of service. But yes, I agree with you. He's absolutely a terrible individual, and I'm not sorry to say that actually. But if you send the clip, Big Fathead, I'd play it. But hey, Troll7426. Let's see. I can try and play it here. Hold up. The thing is, I might get, who cares if I get a copyright strike? I mean, I've gotten like 2 or 3 of them already, and YouTube, they're not actually striking my channel. They're just saying I get copyright notices and I'm not monetized. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, let me put it up here in my OBS so we can listen to that, because I am curious to see, because Joy Behar, the stuff that she says is she talks out of her ass so much it's not even funny, but it is funny in the sense that it's definitely amusing to to an extent, because the stuff that she says is just amazingly stupid. All right, let me make sure that this is loading. Oh, there we go. It's actually popping up here. Okay, rock and roll. What's going on? What's this?
Yeah, they should not tell everything they're going to do. Like, if you're going to take people's guns away, wait till you get elected, then take the guns away. Don't tell them ahead of time.
Yeah. I had heard that. Actually, I did see this clip. I had heard that she has said that. That's amazing to me, frankly, that she would say something that stupid. So she's basically advocating for politicians to lie to the American people, to be dishonest, and also to want to do things that are illegal. She's supporting politicians pushing for things that are illegal, because that's against the Second Amendment. You know, you can't go around confiscating guns left and right just because you feel like it. It doesn't work that way. That wouldn't hold up the constitutional muster. And that's correct, Mom Patch. It does point to character and a lack thereof. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that just shows you the kind of person exactly that Joy is and that she supports, and she wants politicians that she supports to be. That's a scary thought if you think about it. Do you really want everybody knows politicians lie. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows that politicians are not the most honest people on this planet. Come on. We all know that. But do we want our politicians to just straight out be absolutely dishonest? Do we want people to just be absolutely lying to you to your freaking face? I don't. I don't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of politicians are bad. A lot of them are. Very few are people that are uh, at least. At least I can say with the. Oh, I wouldn't say all of them are evil. I would say a good amount of politicians are evil. And I would say there's a small percentage that they're either incompetent or they have certain level of corruption in them, or they are well intentioned but not proficient at doing what they do. And then there's maybe one or two that are actually more honest people that are trying to do the right thing and they're in a system. I don't quite agree with that, 7426. I mean, there's a good percentage of corruption that goes around. I absolutely agree. And I think that a lot of people are bought and sold, and it's sad. But I do think that some people do have a lot of people. There's that saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions for a reason. So that's what it is. That's what it is. So you do have some people that, in their heart, they may think that their intentions are good, and they in their heart they think they're doing the right thing, but they are completely misguided, and they're doing very very bad things in the guise of nobility and morality. So, hey, Soul, that I saw that Soul that says that Rand Paul actually he didn't name the phony whistleblower on the Senate floor today. I don't always agree with Rand Paul. I don't always agree with that with him. However, I gotta say the guy is endlessly entertaining. He does. He has his moments, and he is kind of one of those guys that he's not really the most political of politicians. He kind of has his let's call it Trumpian moments, because now Trump pretty much has defined this sort of thing. He has his moments of like I don't care, I don't give a freak about anything, and however, he is very much a constitutionalist. So even in his I don't care moments, he does try to stick firm to his beliefs in the Constitution. So they wrote a letter of reprimand to Senator. Really, Feinstein and Pelosi. So, but they don't write a letter of reprimand to like AOC, who said it was perfectly okay to incite violence against police. Really, wow, that's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. But anyways, moving on. Moving on. And by the way, Epstein didn't kill himself. Moving on. Some idiocy that's happening around the world. You know, Emma Watson. I just want to talk about some more fluff stuff. Emma Watson is approaching 30, so she said on Instagram or whatever. I don't even know what social media she's on. She said that she's not single. She's self-partnered. Have I mentioned that I hate SJW leftists? And one of the big reasons why I hate them isn't so much because I just don't like them. It's very much, yeah, Mom Patch, tell your son to stop streaming while I'm streaming. Come on. Jesus. No, there's a relevancy to it because I'm talking about the insanity of the left. Because this has to do kind of with the whole climate of conversation that we have in the world right now. I have an issue with stupid language like this. Self-partnered? Really? I know there's. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect at all. Shut up. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, so the thing is this, it's like I saw this trending on Twitter. That she called herself self-partnered. How pathetic and forever alone do you have to be to say I'm not single, I'm self-partnered? No, lady, you're single. And guess what? You're going to remain single using that terminology. Because anybody who's sane would not go to a woman who's defined herself as such and say, "Oh, yeah, that's perfectly normal. Let me date that person because that's going to be a healthy relationship." I don't think so. Anyway, another thing that happened in the SJW leftist world is a female birth coach was ousted from her job because she said only women have babies. Yes, that happened. Really sold that. There was a story of some lady who married herself. I don't know about that, but I do know of a lady who married a lamp. Not a lamp, I'm sorry. It was a chandelier. It was a chandelier. She was in love with the chandelier. This is the UK, by the way. And I have another story about the UK as well. I will talk about that too. But this female birth coach, she lost her job for stating science and facts. Women have babies. Women have uteruses and ovaries and a vagina and can produce eggs. So, I mean, this isn't something controversial, and it shouldn't be something controversial. This is basic biology. If you're born male, guess what? You don't have the proper equipment to birth. Okay? If you are a woman, if you are a biological female, you have the proper equipment to birth. This isn't rocket science. This lady should not be losing her job. Absolutely. She should not be losing her job over stating the obvious. And then speaking of UK craziness, as I mentioned, there was this lady who married a chandelier. The UK National Health Service is poised, or if they haven't started already, they're going to deny service to quote-unquote racists and quote-unquote sexists. So let me get this straight. The National Health Service, the government-controlled health service of the UK, they're going to deny service to who they deem is racist and who they deem is sexist, without even giving a proper definition of what they deem as racist or sexist. But apart from that, no matter what the definition is, this is mind-blowing. That one, the government would essentially kill its own citizens for wrongthink. Because if you don't give health care to people, if you deny care to people, that's a human rights violation, first of all. So the UK wants to engage in human rights violations for wrongthink. Exactly. PC death panels. Thank you, Soldat. That's pretty much what this is. And the thing that really pisses me off more than anything about this whole thing is that doctors, I believe this is universal. I don't think this is just a one country versus another thing. Doctors in general have to swear an oath, the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. So all these doctors, if they don't help people, they're basically going against that oath. And that's wrong. And it's disgusting. Exactly, it's disgusting, Troll7426. You say that's disgusting. How can they do that when the English taxes that go to that healthcare? Exactly. Not only are they stealing money away from their citizens, then they're denying them the care. And you know what's the funniest part? Leftists and socialists and SJWs, they argue till they're blue in the face that healthcare is a fundamental human right. Healthcare is a fundamental human right, people. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, healthcare is a fundamental human right. Actually, I like Steven Crowder's version of Bernie Sanders better. I like the Gilbert Gottfried. Healthcare is a human right. How are you going to pay for it, Mr. Sanders? Son of a bitch! Anyways, Steven Crowder does it way better than I do. And sorry, Steven Crowder, for blatantly stealing your shtick. I admit, I stole that one. I just love that impression. I don't know why. I just love the Gilbert Gottfried version of Bernie Sanders. I know I bring up Crowder's impression a lot. I do. I admit it. But it's just funny. He could be. Yeah, he could be a closet tranny. He has dressed up as a woman before. So he wore the dress. That's correct, Big Fathead. Thank you. Hey, I got a good impression finally. Thank you, Soldat. Thank you, sir. No, but this is the kind of thing that really drives me crazy. Is this? It's not so much how bad it's. I mean, it's bad. It's already bad that you want to deny health care to people because of wrong thinking. Seem like I'm running on a potato internet as well. Oddly enough. So I apologize for that interruption. I think I don't know if Periscope's gonna restart another. Yep, Periscope's gonna basically make it a two-parter. Okie dokie. So, whoops, sorry. That's the thing that really irks me about this whole. Pardon me. Oh my God, I think I coughed up a lung there. No, it's the contradiction. If I ear raped anybody for that cough, I apologize. It's the hypocrisy. It's the contradiction. It's the ideological inconsistency of the left that drives me up the wall. Because on one side of their mouth they'll say one thing, and then on the other side of their mouth they'll say something else. And it's aggravating to no end. Absolutely aggravating to no end. And that's something that really annoys the hell out of me, frankly. And I wish that if you're gonna espouse a certain ideology, at least be consistent about it. You know, at least be learned and consistent about it, so you can actually have some credence, have some substance, be someone that has a little bit of depth to you, and not this just ping pong balls just bouncing off of you left and right, that you say one thing and then it just bounces off and you contradict yourself not even 10 seconds later. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't like that. So another thing that happened, a lot of you people, at least in Bitwave, are aware of this. Folks that aren't on Bitwave or watching on other streams, or maybe watching the replay, may not know too much about what's going on with the drama with Seb Gorka. Apparently, Seb Gorka's YouTube channel got blown the F out. Hey, I don't know if I have any viewers on DLive or YouTube, and hey, Meave, dab to you as well. So if people are and they're not aware of what's going on with that whole deal, so there's this whole controversy between Nick Fuentes and Charlie Kirk, if I'm not mistaken, where Nick Fuentes asked a question about Israel and supporting or not supporting Israel and things like that. Charlie Kirk went off on this insane spurg out rant about not supporting anti-Semitism and all that kind of stuff, which, yeah, that's fine. It's just weird that he really kind of flipped his lid over that. He really had an emotional reaction to that, at which a lot of people. It exposed a little bit of the weirdness that's happening in Turning Point USA. Because a lot of people were saying that there's a lot of kind of weirdness that goes on in Turning Point USA, and that there's a lot of, like, I guess, intimidation that happens in there. And then Seb Gorka got really upset about this whole thing too, and people started trolling him on his own stream because he has a daily radio stream that he also streams on YouTube. And he was calling for the political censorship of Nick Fuentes. Now, in the past, I've liked Seb Gorka for certain things that he said. I don't agree with him with everything. I thought that he was a pretty interesting speaker. I thought he had some good points. I liked that he supported Trump for a while, and to my knowledge, he still does. I don't support political censorship. Yes, it's the American First broadcast. Yep. And I think he's on Vimeo now because he got blown the hell out of YouTube. It was copyrighted music? I thought it was because he actually he made physical threats to people. I think he did troll 7426. Troll 7426 is actually, did he have that name before Nick Fuentes? I believe he did, because Sub Gorka has been doing that stream for quite a while. I don't know how long Nick Fuentes has been active, so I really don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But the fact that Seb Gorka was advocating for political censorship and he got then censored for threatening people, I have to admit there's some juicy irony in that. I don't think it was the music, because he's had that stream for a while, and usually if you have a syndicated radio show, you have a license to play music. So I don't think that's what it is. So I don't agree with Seb Gorka threatening people to and promoting political censorship. I don't agree with that. So like, even people, like I was mentioning at the very beginning of the stream, that I was dealing with some morons that kept pestering me on Twitter and just being trolls. I don't even block them anymore. I used to, at the very beginning, I used to block them because they just I didn't block them immediately. What I would do is I would engage with them, but when I realized all they were doing was just trolling and trying to get a reaction out of me, and if I had to keep repeating myself, or they just kept doing all these ridiculous debate tactics, which I mentioned, I think I want to do a discussion about debating one time. I'll do a video on it or something, or a stream dedicated to that, talking about the art of debate. Yeah, I kind of lost track of what I was talking about. So, sorry, it's been a long day. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that I don't necessarily ban people immediately for that reason. And the more I stay on Twitter, the more I just let these people just show how ignorant they are. Yeah, I think it would, because a lot of people really don't understand the art of debating. They think that talking over and straw man arguments and ad hominems and all this crazy stuff is what debate is, and it's not. It's really not. There's a whole art to debating, and a lot of people don't like to actually engage in proper debates because most of the time people can't really back up their arguments well. Yeah, a lot of times that's what people do. It's all about yelling the loudest and BTFOing people. Exactly, big fat head. That's very true. So I just wanted to talk about that, about what happened to Seb Gorka. And, I really wish that this would be a learning opportunity for him, because he is a pretty smart guy, and he doesn't need to engage in that sort of thing. He doesn't need to promote any sort of censorship. He could take a high ground and be like kind of like Dinesh D'Souza, and be that a kind of person who engages in that sort of discourse, where even if people disagree with him, and there are people that insult him, Dinesh D'Souza has this methodology of very slowly, methodically, and academically tearing people down. And it's brilliant, actually. it's beautiful to listen to him just like tear someone apart little by little. Yeah, he must defend. Some people are very ardent about this whole defending Israel thing. And I'll say one thing. This is one thing that I will say about because there was also a question. Some people were criticizing Dan Crenshaw. Yeah, he should have just ignored it. That's right, Soldat. He should have just ignored it, especially since his family were hardcore Hungarian nationalists. Yeah, he probably should have just let it go. Said, "Hey, okay, fine, whatever." But what I was gonna say is, there was this question at this Q&A thing, or this event that Dan Crenshaw appeared in, and someone asked him about the BDS movement and shouldn't people have the right to criticize Israel and things like that. And this is where a lot of people get so walking on eggshells talking about Israel, and this is what it boils down to. Straight out discrimination, racism, anti-Semitism, things like that, is generally considered morally wrong. However, the First Amendment gives you the right to say racist things. So you may disagree with, like, a company may not want to do business with Israel. Well, if you let's put it this way. If I have a company and I don't want to do business with Italy, do I have to? Do I have to do business with the UK? Do I have to do business with China or North Korea or South Africa or Israel? Like, do I have to do business with Israel? No. There's nothing under the law that forces a company to have to do business with Israel or Italy or China or anything like that. So what it boils down to is the First Amendment. This is something that I've always been fond of when it comes to the First Amendment. I love the fact that the First Amendment gives people just the right to express what they believe, as long as you're not inciting direct violence. And whether I agree with someone or not on their beliefs, like if I have a business and I don't want to do business with Israel, I have every right to do that. So I don't agree with legislation that tries to force people to either not engage in business with other people, or even more so, there's legislation like in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, there's legislation that says you can't even openly criticize Israel. I'm sorry, that's stupid. I can criticize any country I want. If I want to criticize Israel, I'll criticize Israel. If I want to criticize Iran, I'll criticize Iran. If I want to criticize Italy, I'll criticize Italy. If I want to criticize Ireland, I'll criticize Ireland. I'll criticize every country that starts with the letter I. Let's start with that. Because I have the First Amendment that tells me I can. So Dan Crenshaw, he tried to turn this into like I don't think that Dan Crenshaw necessarily wants legislation on not allowing people to speak freely about something, because that will anyways that can get challenged very easily and it'll be brought up to the Supreme Court. But the thing is, he hasn't really provided a good clarification. I even retweeted him and asked him straight out, well, let's make it simple. What do you think the First Amendment covers? Does the First Amendment allow people to just criticize anybody, anything, anywhere, including Israel? And the question should be very easy to answer. And if he doesn't answer that, and he hasn't yet, And I don't know if he will because I'm just I'm a small fish. I'm pretty much invisible to most people on Twitter anyways. I think my tweets get deranked pretty freaking bad, no matter if I'm replying or retweeting. I doubt he'll answer. So I think that's kind of a bad thing, that he is not just coming out and saying, hey, listen, let's be clear, even though I hate the term let's be clear. But he should come out and say, you know what, let's make this as basic and clear. Hey, Omega Man, thank you. Is the sound coming through on that? I don't know if the sound's coming through on that. I'm not. Hold on. Let me see. That's weird. I'm having some audio issues, it seems. I apologize for that, but at least you get the visual. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe if I do this. There we go. All right. Thank you, Omega Man, for the lemons. Thank you. I'm going to just lower the volume a little bit so I can toggle him. Like I was saying, I think Dan Crenshaw did not answer that question very well, and I do think that he should just come out and say, "Listen, the First Amendment gives you the rights to free speech." What funny word? Alt-Reich, what funny word did you give me the lemon for? Well, Alt-Reich, if you tell me the word, I'll try. I can try and say it. The funny word. What funny word? I don't know. What funny word? What, Israel? Oh, that word. I'm streaming on YouTube. I don't want to get banned. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll compromise with you guys because I don't wanna get banned on YouTube. I'll turn TTS on. Well, you say that all the time, Dispatch. I don't want to say that because I'm still very tiny and unknown, and I don't want any problems. Sir. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you this. I've already said the word. I've already said that while streaming, and I think I was on YouTube at the time too. I think it was when I got my live stream got reinstated. Because it was about the one of the what's it called? The freaking school. Shoot, I'm having a brain fart moment. It's the freaking kid that that went to school with oh my god, I'm having such a horrible brain fart moment. Oh god. I can't think of the names anymore. The Florida shooting. David Hogg, the guy that went to school with David Hogg, but it isn't. He's not a prick like David Hogg. He's actually the conservative pro-gun kid. He said that word. He said the word nigger, and I talked about that word in the context of him saying that in a previous conversation that people thought, Harvard had denied him entry into the university because he said that word. He said the word nigger. And I talked about that on stream, and I said the word nigger, and I don't care. That's why I'm saying. So now that I'm thinking about it, I did say it before, so I can say it again, and YouTube didn't do anything to me then, so whatever. I'm no longer I'm not COG! I'm not COG. Yes, sir, I'm not COG. But anyways. I said it already on previous streams. Where were you people? Where were you people? And troll B936. I'm not pro anything. I'm pro any ally that works with the United States. That's what I'm pro. So, anyways. And Epstein didn't commit suicide, by the way. Epstein didn't commit suicide. Moving on. I'm not wearing a kippah. I don't even know what a kippah is. What should be... Hold on. Let me see. What should be in the banner next to... Let me take a look at that. I'm being suggested to add... I won't do that, no. Dispatch can do that on his stream. That's his quote. I'm gonna leave that for him. I'm not gonna do that. I thought they were called yarmulkes. They're called kippahs? I don't know where you guys were. I was right here, and I said it before. Where were you guys? I said that like on what was it, episode 4? I think it was 4. I'm gonna look it up. Actually, let me go to my YouTube. Hold on. Let me go to my studio here. Let me take a quick look-see here. Because I know I did a stream about this, and I could have sworn that it happened while I was able to stream on YouTube. Yeah, episode 6, my bad. It was episode 6 on June 19th of this year. I said this back in freaking June. You know? Yeah, I know. Some people on Bitwave say I'm a Jew. Some people on Bitwave say I'm Greek. Some people have said I'm Italian. Apparently I'm like a million different ethnicities. No one watches your streams. You know, actually, that's not necessarily a bad thing that I don't have a lot of views, because that makes it so I can say pretty much anything and nobody cares. So, what have you, you know? Yeah, exactly. That's correct, Mom Patch. Who cares? Whether I have a lot of viewers or not, if the fact that I am not very well known gives me a lot of freedom. So it's not something that I frown at. I think relative anonymity on the net is not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. Alt-Reich has watched my stream once. Thank you, sir. Thank you. At least you got to see me once. Hey, I actually try to stream when other people aren't doing like big streams, because I don't want to like encroach in other people's streams, and I don't want other people to encroach on my streams. So I don't think it's a bad thing to try and just kind of stagger all the streams out. You care about the amount of hate speech I spew? Well, you're going to have to just take it, sir. You could talk to Dispatch about that. Report me to him, I guess. Click the flag, damn it. Click it. I don't know. Ask Dispatch. I can't do anything about it. What is Dispatch going to do? Hey, listen to your mom, Dispatch. Listen to Mom Patch. You linked... You did? You linked those reports up to Discord hooks? Interesting. No. Oh, no, I thought you were talking about me. Yeah, Dispatch said he would get the hamster. Meanwhile, no hamster for form. Yes, we don't have proof of life. I mean, for all we know, hamster could be up someone's anus. I mean, I think chat deserves to know. There's been rumors. That's all I'm saying. There's been rumors. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say anything more than that. You might hear the fan in my computer is running a little hot, so I had to kick it on here. Because I don't have my... I usually prop my laptop up a little bit because I stream off of a beefy laptop that I have. So another actually terrible thing that happened recently, I think within 48 hours, is that 9 U.S. citizens were killed in Mexico. And the thing that's worse is that it included... hey, Realty Zen, thank you for joining on Periscope. It's terrible because the cartels attacked this family, killed them, included infants and children, and there was some talk about them being it's like a mistaken identity sort of thing. Oh, really? Spook just sent me a link about the Covington Catholic students' defamation suit against Warren is dismissed. That's ridiculous. The judge removed her because they're giving her immunity. Oh, that's just stupid. I'm sorry. No, politicians should not have immunity over that sort of thing. I don't agree with that. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, this cartels attacked this family, shot them all up, set the car on fire. There were infants and children in there, and these are the people that Pelosi was saying it's spark of divinity while she's trying to keep her teeth in. This is spark of divinity. People that shoot up infants and set them on fire. Really. I would love to have a face-to-face conversation with Pelosi about that sort of stuff. Just have a sit-down with her and ask her, like, what's divine about shooting up a 9-month infant? Or setting the body on fire after you shoot it up. I think these are questions that we need to know. If this is the stance that she's going to take about this sort of thing, I feel that we have a right as, as people that she's supposedly representing, especially California. But they were Mormon. They were Mormon troll ED0B. They were infants. You want to have a face-to-face with me? Well, the most that I can do, sir, is put you on voice chat right now, because I can take calls in Discord if people are interested in engaging in some conversation. But it's really bad. Mexico, and what's worse is that Mexico doesn't seem to. I mean, the government's all bought out by the cartels. There's so much corruption in the Mexican government. It's not even funny. And the Mexican government really needs a lot of cleanup, and they really need to start getting their crap together, because that country is a veritable shithole, frankly. And there's a reason why a lot of people are leaving Mexico to come here. Sorry, I'm just reading stuff in chat. So it's sad that this sort of thing happens in this day and age where you have these criminals just running around. And nothing's going to happen to these cartels. What's going to happen to them? I mean, the Mexican government isn't going to do anything. I'm not entirely sure if this happened in Mexico or on U.S. soil or like on the border. Like, I'm not entirely sure where this happens or where the jurisdiction would lie. But These were American citizens, and the U.S. government has every right to kind of berate the Mexican government for going, hey, what the hell are you people doing down there getting Americans killed? You know, it's a sad state of affairs what's happening in Mexico right now. And then you have people on the left that just, it blows my mind. It just really blows my mind that they support this sort of thing. They want open borders. They want people to come in and out without any sort of, any sort of filtering and verification. And then you hear stories like this. So, I'm sorry, I'm giggling because I'm reading the chat. Anyways, the last topic, at least on my list of topics that I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Oh, Mom Patch, burn! Oh my god. Mom Patch said that only a faggot streams when the Eternal Abyss is on. That is, thank you, Mom Patch. Mom Patch is the official awesome based best patch on Bitwave. It's official. Yes, Dispatch, your mom just slammed you. Hard. Your own mom. Oh, your mother. Typa. Oh, man. Ooh, boy. All right. If you want me to look at the link, you're gonna have to use my actual name, sir. I'm not gonna bend over to that, sir. Oh, man. Oh, that was beautiful. That was just beautiful. Oh, I'm glad I caught that on stream. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be awkward at Thanksgiving. It just completely threw me off now. Oh boy. But oh no, the last topic that I wanted to talk about. Here we go. Let's try and get this back on track here. I've been kind of throwing this. Oh, Mom Patch is on a roll. So I've been throwing every once in a while that Epstein didn't kill himself. He didn't commit suicide. Project Veritas came out with a very interesting video. Okay, you did use my name, jerk. What is this? Yeah, I was just about. That was what I was going to talk about. All right, you know what? Since you were so nice to provide that, even though you didn't do it in a very nice way, sir, I will play this. Let me bring it up here. Hold up, people. So Project Veritas dropped this video, and frankly, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. I'm gonna play it for you. No, wait a minute. What the heck happened here? Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. That's what happened. Ha ha. Ha ha. My bad. There we go. Here we are, kids. Let's take a listen to this. Yes, I know I'm muted. I'm just playing the video so people can hear it. I don't want to talk over it. I know that I'm muted. This was on purpose. I don't want to talk while the video was playing. But the volume may be a little low, actually. All right. Well, you're gonna hear the lemon thing. That's the problem. I can't stop the lemon thing. You're gonna hear the lemon. You're gonna hear Lemongrab screaming during the video. How do I mute? Hold on. Yeah, actually, hold on. Yeah, Okay. All right. I think I got it muted properly. So I'll start over the video. All right. Hold on. And I will mute myself. No, I can just mute it on the computer because it shows me every application that I'm running, and everyone has its own volume level. So I'm just gonna mute that for now. But I will mute myself. I'm not getting mad at lemons. I appreciate the lemons. I love the lemons. I bow to my lemon overlords. Don't you guys know that? No, but anyways, what I was saying is I will mute myself during the video because I don't want to talk over it. I just want everyone to listen. Oh, yeah, thanks. Sorry, Omega Man. I thought you were talking to me. But let me press play on the video now, and I will mute myself. So don't expect me to talk during this video. Just listen, and I'll make some commentary afterwards. Okay? All right. Here we go. Okay, actually, hold up. I seem to have screwed up here. We're having some technical problems, kids. Yes. I noticed that the video was muted. Yes, I noticed. All right. Let me do this. Hold up. Shut up. Hold on. Okay. Now, in theory, you should be able to hear the video now. Let's try it.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air.
That's tape leaked to us by our latest network insider. This brave insider works at ABC News. ABC News anchorwoman Amy Robach is talking to her producer on a hot mic. She says she had the Jeffrey Epstein story 3 years ago, and her bosses at ABC News spiked it.
And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal.
Our insider told us this tape was recorded earlier this year in late August, a day or so after this NPR report came out sharply criticizing ABC News for not broadcasting the Robach-Giuffre interview years ago.
ABC has episodically covered the scandal, yet the interview was never broadcast, and Giuffre says she was never told why.
Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago saying, there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. And I had it all 3 years ago.
But the creepy thing is that we would make access to all of these high-profile people.
Well, then I got a little concerned about why I couldn't get on.
On the leaked insider tape, Amy Robach says she had the Jeffrey Epstein story 3 years prior, but her exclusive interview was shelved. Robach says in the leaked tape there was a lot of pressure from Buckingham Palace. According to NPR, the famed lawyer Alan Dershowitz also pressured the network to kill the story.
Shortly before the interview was due to air, Harvard emeritus law professor Alan Dershowitz called the network. He was also one of Epstein's lead defense attorneys.
We wonder if the story was killed to protect the rich and powerful. It seems few were worried about protecting the women who may have been Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Remember, Epstein was still a free man 3 years ago. And just to be clear, the interview has still not aired. What is ABC News waiting for, or who are they still protecting?
She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything.
Robach also has no doubt about what happened to Epstein when he finally was arrested and jailed.
So do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. Yeah. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
I mean, when I heard he was found dead, this was selling his money.
I knew immediately. And they made it seem as though he made that suicide attempt 2 weeks earlier, but his lawyers claimed that he was roughed up by his cellmate around the neck. That was all like to plant the seed, and then that's why I really believe it. Like, really believe it.
The last of the leaked tape has Robach talking about alleged Epstein conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell and how she should be very careful.
He's got to have left evidence like in the unexplained.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, who I had all sorts of stuff on her too. I love it. I'm like, it's so funny to hear everyone say her name now because I'm like, oh my God, like I had all the, and everyone was like, who's that? Who cares? I kept getting that. Who cares? She knows everything. She should be careful. Well, she was his, like, she went out and recruited all of these girls.
Stand by.
She should watch her back. Because if she goes, I mean, I'd have like security guards all around me.
The brave insider who leaked this tape to us does not know who at ABC News spiked the story, but someone at ABC does. Our question: who killed the Epstein story at ABC News and why? Help us find out. James Goldston is the president of ABC News. What did he know, and when did he know it? Here's the landline number for ABC News President Goldston and his Twitter account. If you're an insider at ABC News or any other major media outlet or big tech company and you have seen corruption or bias, contact us at projectveritas.com/brave.
Be a catalyst for change. Be brave.
All right. Hold up. Let me put this freeze frame up here. Where is it? Come on.
James Goldston is the president of ABC News. What did he know, and when did he know it? Here's the landline number for ABC.
I want this piece of work's number and Twitter on here. So, we can switch back to the lemons now. Stand by. Ta-da! There we go. So, this guy, there's actually another clip, that whole clip of the guy chasing him and asking him questions, asking for a comment. And he keeps saying, no comment, no comment, no comment. Yeah, call him, dispatch. Hey, if dispatch calls him, well, it's a landline, so probably right now the office will be closed. Doc, mom. Okay, now we see where Dispatch's proclivity for doxing comes from. It's directly from his mom. All right. So this guy, he later says no comment, no comment. Yeah, you have to call him like 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time because this is most likely it's a New York office. I'm assuming. But that's his Twitter handle as well. So there's a lot to unpack in this video. And I want to start with Amy Robach, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I want to start with that first. She seems more pissed to me about the fact that she wasn't able to get her story. She had it before other people, and now she's frustrated and angry because things are coming out and she's getting zero freaking credit for it. Not once has she mentioned much about the concern for the victims in those 3 years. And, in fact, after this video dropped, she actually rolled back saying, oh, this was a private moment of frustration that I was saying this. I don't know. She's kind of stepping back from what she said in that video. So, pardon me. So, she is backing out of this. I don't even know why. The only thing I can think of is that she doesn't want to lose her job, I guess. But I think that's kind of cowardly for her to not, just say, hey, okay, yeah, it's true. I did say those things. It's obviously I said them, they're on video. I went through all this. I can tell you, she could probably say who created the story. She could probably say it. But the thing is this, will Amy step up to the plate and be like a good human being and, put to shame these people like this guy that maybe he knows? Well, the channel, ABC, was being pressured by the Royals. So yeah, the Royals definitely had a play in this. But someone at the station made the decision to crater the story. So someone, because even if the Royals were putting pressure on ABC still had the choice if they wanted to still, still do the story, put it on the news. So it's ridiculous that she doesn't want to, come forth and say that. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, and the other thing is the hypocrisy of ABC. ABC is absolutely hypocritical in this situation. They're disgusting. They ran Jussie Smollett. They ran all these stories on Kavanaugh. They ran all this stuff. Yet their excuse, because this guy came out with a statement afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. His statement was that story did not meet the editorial standards of ABC. That's why it didn't go on air. But Jussie Smollett met that standard. They had an exclusive interview with them. They put him on there crying and bubbling, "Oh, I'm a victim of a hate crime," which never happened. A hoax. Kavanaugh. They would run things left and right without any sort of verification. And they want to tell me they have this sort of editorial standard. Well, I tweeted this and I tagged ABC. I don't think they're going to answer me, but I did it on Twitter and I'll do it here live. I'm going to call out ABC on their bluff. I am calling you out, ABC. What are your editorial standards? Give me your guidelines for what your editorial standards are. And I want to know specifically why the Epstein story did not meet that editorial standard versus, yeah, we'll do it live. We need a Bill O'Reilly emote. We'll do it live. Yeah. I want to know why Kavanaugh met those journalistic and editorial standards. Jussie Smollett's story met those standards, and Epstein didn't. Why? I'm calling you out, ABC, and the president, and anybody that was involved in that decision making. I want to hear the justification for that. I want to see who has the balls, basically, to actually put some meat on the table in this discussion. So that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then you have the coroner coming out saying that Epstein's backflip off of a 3 foot tall bunk bed wasn't a suicide, which, you know, I don't know about you guys, but that shocked me. I'm still shocked over that. I mean, it's obvious the guy didn't kill himself. This guy quote unquote committed suicide. He happened to be able to commit suicide with toilet paper, a 3 foot bunk bed, and he was over 6 feet tall. The guards happened to be asleep. The camera happened to be broken. They happened to leave him alone. I mean, come on. Give me a freaking break. This is ridiculous. But the thing that's interesting about this whole thing, honestly, the whole Epstein debacle, Epstein gate, as you know, I saw come up in the chat here. The whole thing that I find very fascinating about this is that in the past, 10 years ago, something like that, 20 years ago, they may have been able to get over. They might have been able to get over it. In the sense that they may have been able to cover this whole thing up and that's it. But now with the social media, internet, and all this kind of stuff, and Project Veritas and things like that, it's ridiculous that that's even the case. Yeah, and thank you for that. That's his cell. That was his cell. I'll put that up on the screen here. Hold on. Let me do this. Sorry for the dead air. I'm just getting this situated. Okay. So apparently this was Epstein's jail cell. It was designed to prevent suicide. Which would make sense. it would absolutely make sense that it was designed in a way to prevent this sort of thing from happening because he allegedly had already tried, right? Yeah, Mom Patch, exactly. El Chapo remains alive, and he dug himself through toilet tubes, basically piping. But yeah, so let's go. I'll read them out, Spooks. Yeah, let's go over this image. So, assuming that this is all accurate, and I'll assume that Spooks isn't trying to mess with me. So you had a 4-inch wide window overlooking the prison courtyard. All right, so there's nothing that you could do to suicide there. A fixed concrete stool and desk, and a bed platform. Okay. So the whole bed is solid concrete, right? Stool, concrete. He had a television in there. That's interesting. With limited programs. We still have no answer about the Vegas massacre. I don't know what that's referring to, but that looks like a mirror pointing at the mirror and sink. Double doors for security and isolation. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Shower has a timer to prevent flooding. Makes sense. No hooks, nothing up there around, like nothing that you can hang on. Maybe you could try and hang yourself on the grate there, the metal of the prison cell, but I don't even think that you'd be able to do that because they said he took a flip off the bed anyways. That was the claim. It's an Epstein. I don't know. I'm not aware of that Epstein meme specifically. Maybe Epstein. Soledad is saying maybe Epstein killed himself because he got tired of watching reruns of I Love Lucy. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I always thought that was a decent show. Yeah, the whole Vegas massacre thing. That's also like really weird. I have to agree, Mom Patch. She says that's another cover-up. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. You're getting tired of the only one? All right. I'll mute it. There you go. Yeah, the whole thing with the Las Vegas shooting is very, very strange. It's very strange. There's a lot of inconsistencies. I haven't looked too deeply into it. I know some people have, and they've done a lot of different. No problem, friend. They've done a lot of different analysis and speculation on. I know Laura Loomer was one of them too. That she was really going after that. Another video came up recently of Laura Loomer. Where she went to this Muslim event that they said it was open to everybody, but then they tried to ban her because then they said it was only for Muslims. So that video is actually kind of amusing. If you haven't seen it, I would say look for it on Twitter. Maybe the Epstein guy was on to, maybe the Vegas guy was on to Epstein. Who knows? Who knows? It's a mad world. That's for sure. It's definitely a mad world. But I've been streaming now for nearly an hour and 40 minutes, 42 minutes, something like that. So I think we're getting close to the conclusion of episode 21 of The Abyss. So I think it's a good time to shill a little bit. As you can see on the screen, if you want to support small-time creators like myself, who Twitter tries to ban, YouTube tries to suppress. Who knows? Definitely check out streamlabs.com/theeternalabyss. Any contribution is appreciated. It goes directly into the show here and into the streams and trying to make sure I provide like good content for you guys. I definitely want to try make the show better and better as time goes by. I want to provide more and more content. So, you know, it's a one man operation right now, and everything is just out of my own pocket and everything like that. So it's one of those things that I don't want to. I really don't want to do the e begging and the e shilling and stuff like that, but. You have to donate to Streamlabs for that, sir. If you want me to keep doing super chatty kind of stuff, you have to go to streamlabs.com/theeternalybyss, and I'll read out what you donate. I'll do the Mr. Medicare thing. Who I know, Mr. Medicare. I know Daddy Jim is very sad right now because he's gotten the big bad YouTube people on his shoulders right now, pestering him. And they're holding on to his money, to his hat money. That sweet, sweet hat money. Which I don't have. I don't show merch. I don't do merch. At least not yet. I don't know if I will. Alt-Right says I'm too much of a kike to give money to e-beggars. Well, then we're at an impasse, aren't we? Well, it's the super chat money. You're right. Yes, you're correct, Big Fat Head. It's not the sweet hat money. It's the sweet, sweet super chat money that they're holding on to. About 4K, yeah. I had heard about that. I guess there was one set up for D-Live, I think, but that's only for the lemons. I could probably set up an actual Bitcoin wallet. So if people want to donate cryptocurrency, they can. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's probably better than going through Streamlabs anyway. So I think I will do that, friend. I'll definitely take that advice to heart, and that's true. Lemons aren't real crypto. You're right. I agree. They're like their weird D-Live thing. So yeah, I completely agree. But I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin wallet. I think I'll do that. Even though I don't really have a lot of trust in cryptocurrencies, you know, they're overall. Uh-oh. My stream dropped some frames here for it's ooh, what the heck's going on? Okay. I don't know. Like I would like to get into cryptocurrency, but at the same time, cryptocurrency is something that's a little bit odd to me because I don't. I mean, there's good and bad, and also the whole overall trend has been kind of a downward spike. True, and you're absolutely true, friend. Friend says you don't need to trust it. You need to make it available to donate and then to cash it in. You're absolutely right, sir. So that's why I'm saying there is good about it, and I think I will do that just so if people want to donate Bitcoin, they can. They do, yeah. And you know, with the cryptocurrencies, you wouldn't be beholden to people like PayPal or Mastercard or whatever. So if they think you got the wrong thing, you know, they'll try and mess with you, because I know some banks and some, you know, merchants and people like PayPal, they'll screw around with you. Yeah, even Stripe. Stripe is another pay processing service, which I used to love Stripe. I thought Stripe was one of the best things ever. I thought it was fantastic. And then they also went along with the whole wrong think censorship thing. So I basically eliminated them from my repertoire of tools that I would use for, because I do some web development. So I eliminated that from my tools for that reason. Because I don't agree with that sort of thing. I don't think it's right. But I'm gonna conclude the stream here. Come on. Okay, sorry, my stream